Rivers are the lifeblood of our world. They carve out landscapes, they give birth to civilizations, and honestly, they can be just breathtakingly beautiful. But don't let that beauty fool you. Some of these rivers are hiding forces so powerful, so violent, they're easily among the most dangerous places on the entire planet.
So that begs the question, right? What actually makes a river dangerous? Is it just about a super fast current or how big it is? Well, as we're about to find out, the real answer is a whole lot more complicated and honestly, more fascinating than you might think.
See, it's never just one thing. The real danger is this incredible intersection of geology, climate, and even biology, all coming together to create these environments where nature's power is just absolute.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the Titans. I'm talking about the rivers that are defined by nothing but overwhelming raw physical power. These are the kinds of natural forces that you simply can't tame.
Let's start with the Congo River in Central Africa. Now, its danger isn't about how wide it is. No, it's all about its incredible, crushing depth. This is, by a long shot, the deepest river on Earth.
So, just how deep are we talking here?
We're talking over 220 meters. That's more than 720 feet deep. I mean, that's a number that's almost impossible to wrap your head around for a river. To really put that in perspective, our source material says it's deep enough to swallow entire skyscrapers. Now combine that mind-bending depth with something called the Inga Rapids, a section so violently turbulent it can flip huge industrial barges like they're nothing, and you've got a river that demands some serious respect and fear.
So, from staggering depth, we go to staggering height. Meet the Yarlung Tsangbo in Tibet. People call it the Everest of rivers, and for good reason. It carves out the single deepest canyon on the planet. I mean, look at this. It absolutely dwarfs Arizona's Grand Canyon. And all that vertical drop creates some of the most violent, most inaccessible whitewater anywhere.
But okay, raw power is one thing. What happens when the threat isn't just the water, but what's in the water? Let's look at rivers where the danger is literally alive, teeming with all sorts of biological and chemical hazards. The Amazon is the perfect example here. When you think dangerous Amazon, your mind probably jumps to all the big, scary creatures, right? Black caimans, giant anacondas, electric eels, piranhas, even that infamous parasitic kangaroo fish. And yeah, those are all very, very real. But here's the twist. As terrifying as all those are, they aren't the biggest killers. Nope. The deadliest threats in the Amazon are the ones you can't even see. We're talking about countless deadly bacteria, fungi, and parasites just thriving in that warm water. And that brings us to the huge paradox of the Ganges River. This is one of the most sacred, most holy rivers in the world for millions of people. And yet, it's also one of the world's biggest biohazards. You've got industrial waste, untreated sewage, and agricultural runoff all pouring in, creating this perfect storm for diseases like cholera and typhoid. Okay, so for our final category, let's look at what happens when these powerful natural systems collide head-on with our world. This is where a river's awesome power turns into a full-blown human crisis. And the Mississippi River is the perfect, if tragic, case study. Its danger isn't coming from piranhas or crazy rapids. It's the sheer scale of the thing and the fact that so many people live right alongside it. The Great Flood of 1927, it was a catastrophe. Levees just failed all over, and nearly 1 million people were displaced from their homes. And today, climate change is just amplifying these risks, kicking off this really vicious cycle in rivers like the Mekong and the Niger. You get disrupted rainfall, which leads to way more extreme floods and droughts. That causes massive devastation, which then threatens food supplies and can even spark conflicts over who gets the remaining resources. So after seeing the raw power, the living threats, and the huge human cost, it really forces us to take a step back and look at our relationship with these giants and this idea we have that we can actually control them. It's a really tempting thought, isn't it? I mean, we're in the 21st century. We have all this amazing technology. Surely we can just build bigger dams, stronger levees, and just engineer our way out of the problem, right? Well, the thing is, our attempts to tame these rivers often backfire in some pretty spectacular and dangerous ways. Let's look at the Mississippi again. The plan was simple: build levees to hold back the water. But the unintended consequence? It constricted the river,
which actually amplified the pressure and made the major floods even more destructive for everyone living downstream. And that right there is really the main takeaway. A river's danger is never just one thing. It's always this incredibly complex intersection of its raw power, its unique biology, the land it flows through, and, of course, our own human activity along its banks. In the end, these rivers serve as this powerful, humbling reminder of a pretty profound truth, which this quote from the source material just captures perfectly. Nature operates on scales far beyond human control. They are ancient, they are powerful, and more than anything, they demand our respect.